LeBron's footsteps. All right, moving on to Kawhi Leonard now.
He bought a soccer team, too.
He did.
Good call.
Chris Haynes reported last night Kawhi did not travel with the Clippers to Orlando on Wednesday, reportedly given permission by the team to tend to a family matter. We are hearing he'll join the team in the next couple of days. The other concerning part of this story, guys, his health. So The Athletic put out an article yesterday asking, in part, is he closer to 100% now? Did the time off even make a difference? Will he rest during the team's back-to-back against Portland and Brooklyn? Is he on a minutes limit? Will that change in the postseason? We still have countless questions regarding Leonard's status. I hear Broussard laughing, but Nick, we'll start with you. Cause for concern when it comes to Kawhi holding up through the NBA restart?
Of course. This is one of the biggest concerns in the NBA, and it has been over the last 4 years. The last time Kawhi Leonard made it through into season injury-free, without massive load management, without laboring at the end of the year, Barack Obama was the president of the United States. It's been that long. And last year, despite the fact that he sat out 25% of the games, Broussard, after his brilliant, all-time, out-of-this-world playoff series against the Sixers, where he averaged 35, 10, and 4, 40 minutes a night, was the best player on the court, and hit the game-winning shot. What did we see in the next 2 rounds? Every other game, he was laboring. Every other game, it was a quad. Every other game, you weren't sure what you were quite going to be able to get out of him minutes-wise and athletically, because he has a condition. I don't even know if it's an injury. It's a condition, I guess. And so Broussard, in the last 6 years, he's played more than 450 playoff minutes once. So, yeah, for your beloved Clippers, who I think you have going faux, a la Moses Malone's Sixers, I think that, you know, this is the massive concern. I mean, they said in the Athletic article, Broussard, we don't know if he's going to play the back-to-back. I do. I know. He's not going to play the back-to-back. I can tell you that right now. And so, yeah, Chris, this is the biggest concern for your anointed champion Clippers.
First of all, let me clear up some fake news. I am more of a Lakers fan than a Clippers fan. More of a LeBron fan.
Would never know it, Broussard. Wouldn't know it.
Unlike people on this show who will remain nameless, I pick with my head, not my heart. So I have picked the
wow.
Oh, shots fired.
I'm a huge Clippers fan. But I will, look, there's no denying that Kawhi's health is always a concern. Everything I'm hearing is that he's fine and that he's healthy, that he's been working hard. And also, look, let's remember, he does move to the beat of his own drum. In Toronto, he obviously had his medical guy. You know, he sat out a lot of games. With the Clippers, he has his own medical guy. You know, so I'm not shocked that he's traveling on his own. He's kind of done that. But Nick is right in that there's some type of degenerative condition with that knee. I was saying, you know, a few weeks ago that I expected him to probably have load management for these 8 regular season games. I mean, he may play 7, he may play 6. I'd be shocked if he played all 8. He probably will sit that back-to-back. But when it's playoff time, I do think he'll be there to play. You know, there could be a game or two where he's laboring, to use Nick's word. But the bottom line is when the dude plays, he produces. So if he can be the Kawhi he was in the regular season, even the Kawhi he was last year in the playoffs, despite the knee bothering him a little bit, then the Clippers should be in pretty good shape.
Guys, go ahead, Wiles. I was going to say, what am I missing here? The guy's had 4 months off. He's going to come back in with some load management. I know everyone's had 4 months off, but 4 months, if you got a condition potentially that requires some rest, this is all the rest you could possibly need. What am I missing?
Well, what everybody
Jenna,
said,
I think
look, there's something going on with that knee. There is really, I think, a degenerative condition with that knee that no matter how much time he has off, he's going to have to manage it. And I think playing a lot of back-to-backs would really bother that knee over the long haul.
Go ahead, Wilds.
So I guess I got a question for Nick. Like, Nick, you sometimes sound like a Clippers fan, so my head is spinning because you sound like a Clippers fan. Broussard, who always sounds like a Clippers fan, is now claiming that he's the Lakers fan, so I'm caught in the middle of this marriage. It's very difficult. So, Nick, here's the weird thing. If you want to root for the Clippers, which it feels like you kind of do, I don't know if you want LeBron to get over the Clippers hump there. The good thing about when he was load managing in Toronto is Toronto was still good. He would sit out, and then Raptors went 17-5. When he sits out with the Clippers, they're not good. They're 6-7. And granted, 2 of those games were without Paul George, so it's sort of a double whammy for the Clippers. But we know that he load managed his way to a championship. So, like, why are you worried about load management right now, Nick?
Okay, so a number of things. I'm concerned because we cannot be so results-based. Everyone, so here's the deal, right?
God.
Last year, hold on. Last year, who were the 2 most load-managed players in the sport? Kawhi and Joel Embiid. They played each other in a playoff series. So whoever won, you could argue, well, load management worked. Somebody had to win that series. In the finals, if people believe the Raptors would have beaten a healthy Warriors team, then more power to them. I saw a Warriors team that had Kevin Durant for a quarter and a half, had Klay Thompson blow out his knee, still have them in a 2-point game with a minute left in Game 6 of the finals and be that close to a Game 7. So this idea that, well, Kawhi has hacked the system. This is how you succeed in the NBA. The way you succeed at playing basketball is to actually not play basketball. I find that to be curious. You mentioned they're 6-7 in the games he's missed. Now they are getting almost let off the hook's the wrong word, but they're not being punished for the fact that they are the 3 seed. They're probably going to end up being the 3 seed due to some of that load management, but due to the fact that there's no home court advantage. But Jenna, you say he's had 4 months off. We started talking about this load management thing before it was in vogue on October 30th because I was sounding the alarm, Broussard, that it wasn't Halloween. He had just already had an off season, and he was already missing games. And so there is no amount of rest, evidently, that it would appear that Kawhi can get to where he can play a regular NBA schedule, like every other superstar we have ever seen in the history of the league this side of Bill Walton. And so you just have to bake that into it, and it is a massive concern. And I think Broussard wilds his point that the Raptors had a more well-rounded team to where they could deal with him not being at 100% or him not playing is an important one for this postseason. The Clippers traded away a lot of that depth to get Paul George, and if Kawhi isn't fully functional Kawhi, they're in a bad spot against any Western Conference playoff team.
Yeah, look, there's no doubt the Clippers cannot win the championship without Kawhi Leonard. It's as simple as that. I think, can they win a series? Maybe. But they can't win it without him. Toronto, remember, they were in the East, and they didn't play the playoffs without Kawhi. In the regular season, they were fine. They wouldn't have went very far in the playoffs without Kawhi, I don't believe. I don't think they would have gotten past Philadelphia. They barely did, even with Kawhi. Yep. Obviously, they wouldn't have beat the Clippers, Nick, or the Warriors. Nick is right about that. So, yeah, this is concerning. They don't have a prayer of winning the championship or going deep in the playoffs if Kawhi Leonard cannot be Kawhi Leonard.